Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's bird video, doing JMA Friday for today's bird video. So as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with Japanese and CFS meteorology. It'll take us through to the middle of December. Can you believe that? So I'll get on with JMA Friday for you in a moment. Just say about the first video release was our 7 AM broadcast. We've released a 7th Christmas update, so have a look at that one if you'd like to do that. And also got a 10 to 14 day with all our breaking features coming for you later on this afternoon. Bring you up to date with the Northerly Blast latest. And they'll be live streaming after 10 o'clock tonight. We'll be live streaming the GFS 18 set. So please like, share, subscribe on all of the videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so let's have a look then. We're going to begin with the week 1 500 millibar high dominantly from the Arctic and North Pole view down. This is the North Pole of the Arctic, so just here. This is the wider Arctic around there. And they've got the latitudes, of course, around here. So blue is extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red to above average heights, which is high pressure. It's a breaking down to week periods. The first week period will take us from today, the 19th through to 26th of November. So the coming week takes a high pressure out west. The high pressure is on the move and will be pushing out to west of the country with the below average heights, trough low pressure, digging into the east and the northeast. Let's change the colour. Digging into the east and northeast, it means that we're changing the wind direction and the feel of the weather. Things will be turning colder as we draw in northerly winds. Week 2 also looks quite cold. This is the 26th of November to the 3rd of December. Again, we have this mid-Atlantic ridge. High pressure is in the centre of the North Atlantic going up towards Greenland. Trough of low pressure over and to the east of the country, northeast as well. It leaves us pulling in a cold northerly wind. So we end November and begin December on quite a cold note as well, with a little bit of a northerly blast. Then we go through to week 3 and 4, which would be the 3rd through to 17th of December. A bit of a change in this week with the high pressure, or this couple of weeks, with the high pressure slipping a little bit further southwards, low pressure back in over Greenland and Iceland, turning wind back into a westerly direction. So I suspect that's becoming milder, although we might start to, or we might see like a little bit of a northwesterly with that, which isn't going to be overly warm in December. But what that will do is keep it relatively settled, because the Atlantic is pretty blocked off, you know, so we're not bringing in deep areas of low pressures from off the Atlantic Ocean. So, yeah, you know, it's probably milder, but still relatively on the dry side with the chance of some northwesterly or northerly interludes. Let's have a look at the tropical mid-latitude view then. So this, of course, doesn't show the North Pole, Arctic, Greenland, Scandinavia, Iceland, all those areas off the chart up here. But have a look at that view down so we know what's going on. The UK and Ireland in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you are looking at it. So, of course, week 1 takes a high, this is week 1, 500 millibar high dominantly, a recap of that. Takes high pressure out west, low pressure to the northeast, winds going into the north. It looks like things are getting colder in the first week, and indeed that is what we see. Below average temperatures being predicted there for the UK and for Ireland as well. Precipitation-wise, it's largely drier than average, particularly for more northern and western areas. So colder, but still relatively dry in the first week. Week 2, which is going to be the 26th of November to the 3rd of December, has a high pressure in the middle of the North Atlantic, with trough of low pressure extending in across northwest Europe, and it looks like wind is in from a cold northerly direction as well. So it's another colder than average week being predicted there for Ireland and the UK. We get a couple of weeks of below average temperatures, cold average for much of the continent as well. And a little bit more unsettled as well in this week, so that gives a chance of a little bit more wintry potential maybe, as it's cold on average. You know, there might be a little bit of snow around some places at the end of November and into the start of December. And then weeks 3 and 4 has a high pressure in the Atlantic, but reverting back to a little bit more of the westerly to perhaps slightly northwesterly type flow. The temperature anomaly begins to stage a little bit of a recovery. It's average to maybe slightly above. We lose the cold and average temperatures anyway. Still relatively dry though. Could be quite unsettled across the far north. we're a little bit more exposed to jet stream. But overall, the high pressure is still in control, just changes its position to allow some milder Atlantic air in. But you know, it is still largely drier than average. So relatively mild and dry, perhaps, through the middle part of December. Let's see how the CFS-V2 compares. So these, again, 500 millibar heights broken down into a weekly periods. The first week period will take from the 19th to 25th of November. The coming week taking the high pressure out to the west. Trough of low pressure digging in to the east. Winds turning into a northwesterly to eventually northerly. Is going to start getting colder. Into week 2, perfect agreement between the JMA and CFS with this today. 26th of November to 2nd of December has high pressure in the middle of the North Atlantic up towards Greenland. Trough of low pressure is extending through northern and western Europe, and we're bringing in a cold northerly to possibly slightly northeasterly wind. So it looks unsettled and cold as we end November and begin December. Week 3 goes milder, so again, this is agreement between the two months. It's the 3rd to the 9th of December, the high pressure slipping southwards and becoming centred to our south-southwest. Low pressure in over Greenland and Iceland. Westerlies return, and obviously that turns a little bit more unsettled, particularly for the north, but it does also turn milder. And then week 4 is going to be the 10th to the 16th of December. Again, very good agreement between the JMA and the CFS today, with the high pressure strengthening in the Atlantic and sitting just to our west. Means it'll be mainly dry, quite mild. But that just the odd northwesterly outbreak might just lower the temperature at times a little bit. Very good agreement between the two months there, which is something we don't always see, to be honest. Right, so temperature nights for week 1. This is a bit of a disagreement, actually. 19th, 25th of November is forecast to be milder than average, but I reckon it'll be a little bit colder, probably, than that suggests. It's all about the timings of when we start pulling in the cold air. But it is going to start, temperature is going to start dropping this weekend, like tomorrow, to the north. So I reckon that'll be a little bit colder than that suggests, actually, week 1. Now, week 2 is probably cold on average. This is the 26th of November to 2nd of December, significantly below average. You've got blue colours there for England and Wales. That's like 3 degrees or more below average. The continent also looking really quite cold as well. So that's the coldest week, definitely. The week 2 period. The JMA was in agreement with that too. Goes much milder for week 3. This is the 3rd to the 9th of December. We go back into those west-southwesterlies. Temperatures lift up a lot. And then week 4, which is the 10th to the 16th of December, as that high sort of builds just out to our west, temperature drops a little bit. Still more or less above average, but nowhere near as wild in week 4 as it is in week 3. Suggesting there is perhaps a little bit of a cool down going on. Probably with that high pressure sitting just to our west, we're allowing in some rather cooler air from the northwest potentially, but it's not particularly cold. Precipitation anomalies. Obviously, week 1 is going to be significantly drier than average, with high pressure still dominating. 19th, 25th November. It's very, very dry November. Continues. Week 2 will be the 26th of November, 2nd of December. That's about average for rainfall, but of course, as it's colder, there might be a little bit of wintry potential in with that, with those northerly winds. Week 3 is the 3rd to the 9th of December, and that actually is a little bit wetter, particularly for more northern areas as we go back into those west to southwesterlies, and then week 4 begins to go drier again. This is the 10th to the 16th of December, looking a little bit drier on average just to our west. So a cold interlude for the end, there we go, a cold interlude for the end of November, beginning of December. Both JMA and CFS are in agreement about that. Probably relatively short-lived, but it gets milder as we push on further into December. Second week of December looks quite mild, and then probably by mid-month we're into anticyclonic weather, which of course, that is very dependent then on where we get that wind direction is coming from, as in terms of feel of weather, whether it's a cloudy high or a clear high. If it's clear high, we could start getting some overnight frost and fog and that sort of thing. So it looks relatively dry though, I have to say, except for that slightly milder, perhaps slightly more unsettled interlude in the second week of December. It does look pretty dry. Continuing Right, so that's it for JMA Friday for this week. Remember, it's just a snapshot. What these models are showing, they might look completely different next week. Any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with big health warnings attached. And so, therefore, we will be looking at the shorter range model output in our 10 to 14 day. That's going to be coming up for you later on this afternoon, in about an hour's time, I would have thought. But for JMA Friday for this week, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.